What is up, ladder climbers? This is Antoine Wade, six-figure earner and millionaire, and welcome back to the Black Heights channel. We talk about all things to help you to become successful in life. And I know you have an open mind, so do me a favor and stay here for the entire video. And guys, while you're at it, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and stomp on that like button because it helps us grow the channel. And guys, in this video today, we are going to be discussing how to become a web content specialist. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I think a web content specialist is a great role to be in, especially if you want to make an above average salary, be responsible for sharing people's stories and also telling the world about people. And last but not least, staying up to speed with the latest and greatest trends in content. Now guys, in this video today, we are going to be discussing what is a web content specialist, what are the skills required to become a web content specialist, how to become a web content specialist, meaning the education that you're going to need and the path that you're going to have to go down, the average salary of a web content specialist. This is where the rubber meets the road. And last but not least, the career path of a web content specialist. Now let's start off with what is a web content specialist. Well, a web content specialist is basically a professional who is part of the strategy to drive traffic to websites. So they basically create and collect content for companies, and they manage that content for marketing, advertising, and for generating revenue. And they are usually responsible for blogs and videos and tweets and Instagrams and the TikToks and all that other jazz. Now you're probably asking, why is content so important? Well, content is important because it helps audiences answer questions about the company, about the brand. It also allows the company to build trust with the audience and connect with customers and to generate leads. Now guys, let's talk about the skills required to become a web content specialist, or just to be good at it. Well, first I would say you're going to need a bit of communication skills, such as active listening and relationship building skills to hear people's stories and to share people's stories as well. You're going to also need to be adaptable and keep an eye on the new trends in content, because content strategies are constantly changing and you need to be able to make adjustments. You're going to need to be creative as well, and you're going to have to really have a good amount of experience with growing a brand, maybe your personal brand. So if you are a blogger, these are some of the skills that you're going to need in order for you to build a personal brand. Good communication, active listening, relationship building skills. And these are all the soft skills that are critical for this role. On the hard skills side, you're going to need to be a good writer. You're going to need to be able to storytell. So that, again, that goes back to communication, but storytelling is critical. HTML is something that you're going to need to know, as well as WordPress, and have a good understanding of SEO and how SEO affects different content that's on web pages and things like that. And last but not least, you're going to need to be able to edit videos and edit articles and things like that. So editing chops is going to be something that you're going to need to have as a hard skill as well. Now let's talk about how to become a web content specialist. Well, over 71% of web content specialists hold a bachelor's degree. So going to college is almost a must if you want to get this job. And they major in things like journalism, English, public relations, and communications. And I would say this, usually I would say a lot of these degrees are useless, but in this case, guys, they are very good for web content creators, because they need to be able to communicate, they need to be able to write, they need to be able to tell stories and things like that. So if you have one of these degrees, this is a perfect way that you can get experience in IT and on web related things. But also what I would say is this, is that these degrees typically do not pay you a good salary, but for a web content specialist, they do have a good salary. And speaking of salary, let's talk about that. The average salary for a web content specialist is $65,000 a year. and the growth rate, the job growth rate that is in between 10 and 17%. So a web content specialist is in high demand. Now that you've become a web content specialist and you want to make even more money, meaning that you want to climb the ladder, the career path for a web content specialist is vast, and they can become a lot of things to make six figures. They can become an editor, a marketing manager, a project manager, a marketing director, and so much more with the years of experience that they have in this field. So guys, I think this is a great career path so that you can go down, especially if you're interested in, making a difference in the world, really capturing people's stories and sharing that and pushing content on websites and being part of nice brands and stuff like that, especially if you're interested into storytelling, if you want to make an above average salary as well too. And last but not least, if you want to be on the leading edge of understanding content strategy, because content strategy changes every single day and you have to be relatively adaptable. So if these criteria really do meet your needs of you as a person, I think this is a fantastic career choice for you to become a web content specialist. Now guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button as it helps us grow the channel. Also, if you haven't liked the video yet, go ahead and hit that like button as well. And guys, if you have a comment on any of the points that I have made in this video, I would love to hear from you guys. And until next time, y'all, peace.